This is Jill Carter with the Missouri Senate District 32. This week, bills that are fast tracking are Medicaid expansion for postpartum women, being able to have medical treatments up to a year after having their baby. Currently, there are some concerns floating around, and currently one of those concerns is that Medicaid is our number one budgetary expense in the state of Missouri. We outspend every other state in our country on Medicaid costs. So we're negotiating right now to make this care as net zero budget by also looking at ways that we overpay, some other issues with Medicaid that we know that we can rein in and do a better job at and make it a net zero budget expense. So we're looking at that. We're also talking about initiative petition reform. Really important that we have a process where everybody is heard from across the state when they weigh in on changing our state constitution. That's something we can talk more about next time. One other bill that was heard and is coming out of committee is the Save Women's Sports bill. That we had an overwhelming amount of testimony being heard on that this week. It was great to have so many people come from across the state to testify in favor of our language. That would create to where it has an impact at the college level too. We'll keep you posted on how that's going. Another bill that we are really passionate about is our education bill, Senate Bill 85, which will give education choice to public schools. So currently something that a lot of people don't understand about education and public education is there are so many mandates being driven by the federal government and the state government that our schools really don't have, our teachers don't have a lot of latitude in how they teach and what they teach. And this bill would make it to where if they are 60% locally funded, then they do not have to comply with MSIP and all of the requirements of MSIP, and also give them latitude in what testing they do, which is actually more of a growth model than an autopsy at the end of the year that's used to penalize teachers and school districts with their accreditation and their funding. We'll talk more as that moves on, gain traction. We'll touch on that and expand that conversation a little bit more, but just wanted to give you a brief update on what's going on here in the Missouri Senate, and we'll talk to you next week.